Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio, we have Sam Ewen. He is the head of Studios and Web3 at CoinDesk to discuss what you can expect from Consensus taking place in Austin, Texas, April 26th through 28th. We'll be taking a look at how technology, innovation, government regulation, brands and creators, how they're evolving in the Web3 and crypto environment. Sam, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.
All right, give us a high-level overview of Consensus, my favorite event to cover.
Consensus is in its 9th year, and it is the largest and I would say most influential event in the blockchain and crypto space. It's where we sort of all get together to talk about what's happened, what's happening, and where we're going.
What can we expect from Consensus 2023?
You know, the last 9 months have been pretty crazy in the crypto world, and I think this is actually one of the most important consensuses that we've had, because it's the opportunity for us to digest a little bit of, you know, what happened with FTX and Voyager and Three Arrows Capital and kind of all of the stuff that kind of gave crypto a bad name, and see how do we move forward where we don't get ourselves into that challenge again. I think, you know, one of those things, all of those things, you know, focused a lot around centralization of money and of power, which is something that we in the kind of crypto space are kind of against. Mm-hmm. And so we want to be able to digest that and say, how do we continue to sort of build forward, but also put safeguards in place so that that doesn't happen in the future?
It was interesting, I was looking on your Twitter feed and you had posted something about crypto is about community, not necessarily what's happening, but the prices and the blow-ups that you're seeing within the space. What are some of the types of speakers you're going to have there?
Great question. I mean, we have politicians, we have Representative McHenry, we have Cynthia Lummis, we have also like Jeremy Allaire, and we have Jenny Johnson, we have people from the finance world. But we also have, you know, we have the head of Web3 for Amazon, for Salesforce, for LVMH. We have people who are coming and looking and saying, is this the way that brands are going to connect with their consumers in the future? And that's the area that I'm sort of most excited about. But also we have a ton of folks from all the protocols coming. So there's going to be, you know, if you're a developer, if you're into institutional finance, if you're interested in investing, or you're interested in brand and Web3, we have something for you.
What are you working on specifically?
So I run the Web3 Brand and Creator Summit. So what I've gathered is, you know, I think the sort of best collection of folks from brands, platforms, and on the creative side to all talk about why this is such a disruptive movement, but also why the concepts behind it are so innovative and revolutionary. And we're going to sort of talk about why that's going to sort of be in our cultural ethos in the next years, and how brands from Starbucks to Nike to Reddit are also utilizing this technology to connect deeper with their collectors.
I'm glad you brought up creator, because I want to know about the connection with AI and blockchain. We're talking about that so much now, where what does it look like in terms of ownership? What does it look like in terms of, is this fake? Is it not fake? Where do you see the intersection, and how are creators approaching this?
It's a great question. For example, we have a conversation with Wana Ruxandra, who's the head of digital for all of Warner Music Group. And we discussed with her, you know, that Drake video that's going around, the AI Drake. And we said, like, how much of this is a challenge to the music industry? And she said it's a giant challenge, because artists protect their, you know, their voices, but that isn't really written into contracts, right? So we're looking at how sort of blockchain can source when information is ingested into AI models, so that then when someone then gets something out of an AI model, there can be a provenance to where the original inspiration came from, and ideally where those people can then get paid. And we think that blockchain is a fantastic use for AI models to sort of make sure that original artists, creators, journalists, et cetera, are getting credit, and that there's a source of truth in the output of AI.
Right, and I think about that all the time, right? As a reporter, don't want AI taking over my job, but especially for the creator economy, which is just exploding at this point, you don't want to take the artist out of the artist, though. And that's something that always worries me. I mean, yeah, you can generate, you know, we thought auto-tune was the thing that was going to, you know, end the whole artist thing, but it just continues to evolve so much. Are you hearing anything from creators specifically that it's making them rethink their model, or how are they approaching this?
Yeah, so we have a panel that's specifically called the Creator's Dilemma.
Right.
And we have creators on the panel, both in music and in art, who are sort of talking about how they both use AI as tools, but also how we have to be protected as creators against AI sort of taking our likeness, or taking our style, or taking our output and monetizing that for other people. And so we're going to discuss that. I don't know if you saw yesterday, there was a story about how a top photo award that Sony had given
I did
out
see that.
turned out to be an AI generated piece, and the guy wanted to see if he could get it past them, and he did. And so I do think we have to address, as a generation, are we comfortable with the idea of creativity being uniquely human and AI being a toolkit, or does AI replace that?
All right, appreciate the insight as always, Sam. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.